Likutei Halachos, Nefilas Apaim Halacha Vav. So, in the story that is this halacha that is based on the Ayasel Oilo, we said that it's predicated on the principle that being that the lowest of the low, the lowest places, are getting their sustenance and their chayas, their vitality, to exist from the highest source possible, which is Ma'ama Sasam, Pchinas Aye, which makes it so that when a person falls down to the lowest places, he can always reach the highest places and turn the defeat into victory by just looking for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Looking for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So he says, even the tzaddikim have to go through that. En Achinami, the tzaddikim don't fall. They don't fall like we do into Mekomos HaPanofim. What they do is, they if there is a cup, I would appreciate one of them things myself. The tzaddikim drop themselves to those places. They bend down to those places, and in order to elevate the neshamas that fell down from that. So it says this. Rizal explains in the meditations of Nefilas Apaim, which is done, the Tachnan, which is done after Shmoneh Esrei, and this is when we drop ourselves b'chavana to the side which we call Sitra de Moisa, the side of death, in order to elevate the neshamas that are trapped there. And what we do is we connect ourselves to the Ma'ama Sasam, to that place which is totally that's the highest of the sayings with which HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world. That's the first one. That it's concealed, that is under wraps, is a secret agency, that from which the Mekomos HaPanofim can get chayas. The exposure of Hashem's existence to us is called ha'oras panim. It's the illumination of the face. And the place above that, which is Ma'ama Sasam, which is the Keser, which is the Aye, which is concealed, is the two types of hiding of the face. There is the hiding of the face of anger, that Vistata panecha is evil. You hid your face, and I became rattled. That's when HaKadosh Baruch Hu is upset. But there is a higher bechina of Astoras Panim, where we cover our own face. With this we connect to a world that the face is not exposed, not because Chas v'Chalila HaKadosh Baruch Hu is upset with us, but because this is such a high place that the nether regions can feed off only that place. So that's why we have the Nefilas Apaim, we hide the face. It is one of the most important and profound inyanim, understandings of the divine, of the spiritual mechanism, that we'll have to repeat it many times until it will really snap into place. And that is that you have a root and you have something that comes out of the root. Okay? So obviously something's wrong with the root. Whatever comes out, the result is also damaged. Okay? So obviously, if you want to correct the result, what you need to do, you need to fix it at the source. Up to now, pashut, simple, right? But there's another dynamics at work. And that is, sometimes the root is unreachable because it's beyond your awareness, it's like the seichel, like character traits and stuff. You can fix the root by fixing the outcome. Example. My sister is a graphologist. Graphologist is hand-write analysis. Okay. But not the kind that they have in America where they, right next to a palm reader, you have the graphologist. She is certified to testify in court. For verification of signatures and stuff like that, whatever it is. So one thing is for sure. Everything you do expresses everything that you are. That's why you have such sciences as telling the health of a person by the eye, and reflexology by the foot, whatever it is. Why? Because a person is in an entire system that every part of the system really testifies about the entire system. The problem, of course, is do you have the right map of how to interpret the signs to understand what they mean? That's the question. But if you knew how to interpret, how the eye, I think it was iridology, I think it's called, or reflexology, how, whatever it is, or then you would know exactly by the expression what the root problem is. Okay, now, obviously every person's handwriting is different than another. So the handwriting is a very, very individual expression. Okay, they were able to a great degree to map and understand how the expression in the handwriting reflects the structure of one's personality. And problems in the personality have graphic expressions in the handwriting. So if a person has an emotional problem, it will show in the handwriting. And not only this, but it's you can't fake it. You can't fake it. It comes out. I mean, you can sort of like ke'ilu fake a handwriting, but within that, an expert can tell, where the problems are. The chiddush is that they developed something that's called graphotherapy, whereas they take people that have, mental and emotional problems, and they fix them by working on the handwriting. In other words, they train them, by the way, it's very, very hard, but they train them to change their handwriting, and that changes the shayrish that caused it. Now, when we learn in Torah Chafalov, Baloscha, that we learned last week, we mentioned the same thing. On one side, the Rebbe said the ears and the mouth and the nose and the eyes, then they depend on the brain. The brain is the one that sees, the brain is the one that hears, the brain is the one that smells, the brain is the one that talks, okay? All those averim, the nose and the eyes and the ears and the mouth are basically, the mouth is the speaker, is the speaker system, and the eyes are the CCTV, and the ears are the microphones, and the nose is the whatever you call, the sensor, whatever it is. But what actually smells and sees and talks and hears is the brain. And then the Rebbe says, that how you use those 7 candelabras, as the Rebbe calls them there, influences, it says, when you are Mekadosh, when you sanctify those 7 candles, you cause the divine bounty, divine seichel to come down. And you're going, whoa, wait a minute. How can that be? They, all themselves, they depend on the brain. And now you're saying that they bring the brain a divine bounty? Instead of having to learn backwards, like the entire world learned, they, the ones who are dependent on the brain, change the brain to be able to receive a divine, transmissions. Because it works both ways. The same thing is over here. Whatever it is that we do physically when we drop on our hands, the physical thing, we're talking about the Olam HaKesser, you're talking about the highest Mama, the Ayim Makom Kevoidai. The physical falling on the hand during Tachnun is poil in the Aye, in the Mama Sasam, in the kavod of the Mama Sasam, and brings you into a state of the Astaras Panim of the Mama Sasam, dafka by using your own physicality. The important lessons here to learn is you have to treat yourself in what you do with the ultimate respect. We have absolutely no idea what we are, what we really are. We have our own opinion about, what we're worth, what we're not worth, we're smart, we're stupid, we're this, we're that, whatever. We're rich, we're poor. We have our own opinion about what we are, but we have no idea. We are this amazing mechanisms that can influence the highest. The Rebbe says when the person moves his head like this, he says a multitude of olamas go like that, flip that way. When a person flips his hand this way, he says gazillion of olamas are flipped that way. You are like a remote control that moves spiritual universes all over. Where you look, the words you speak, the things you listen to, the things you refuse to listen to, the thing that you refuse to look at, the things you refuse to say. There's really no words that I can use to express the humongousness of what you are as a human being and as a Yid who was created b'tzelem Elokim. You're talking about a godly creation. The extent of what this creation can do and does and is beyond our intellect to comprehend. Totally beyond. Totally beyond. So he says, this is when you do V'zeo P'chinas or Nefilas Apaim. Where and he says that when the tzaddikim fall and cover themselves, and they look in P'chinas Aye. We hold the Sif Dalet. Valken, that's the reason why, being that Nefilas Apaim is the Astoris Panim. Valken omrim vidui mikoidem v'13 milah shel rachamim. That's why, first of all, we confess for everything we've done. In other words, we open all our vulnerabilities. Nothing is held behind. Open. That's rule number one. And second thing is shlosh milah shel rachamim. Isa shesoda vidui, that the mystery, the secret behind vidui, ubesod v'nosa asa'ir alav eskola v'noisa. The vidui that we say Ashamti Bagati, like we just like a vibrator, that this is a sod of the goat, the male goat that carries all the Averos in Yom Kippur. Ki shnei asirei Yom Kippurim hayu shavim b'komosam. They were completely identical. And the Kohen Gadol had to draw, like a drawing on all the gorillas. One girl, one drawing, L'Hashem. One of them is going to Mizbeach, as a kapara, the highest kapara that there is, and the other one, it goes as Shem Racham to the Sitra Racham Mamash. V'hu b'chinat sod omei kanal. This is an extremely and extraordinary, profound secret and mystery. She'achizas ha-Sitra Racham, that the toehold, the hold that the Sitra Racham has, Shemisham kol averos. That's the source of all averos. Shu azozo. This is called azozo. That's the source. Hudaika misod kedusha elyonim ha'oid. Dafka, the side of that, is the highest kedusha that there is. Shu b'chinas kodesh kodeshim. That's the holy of holies. Shu kedusha elyonim mikol ha'eser kedusha nigasham b'Eretz Yisrael. That's the highest kedusha from all the 10 kedushas in sanctities that Eretz Yisrael was sanctified with. That's why the Shnei Seirim, they're equal in their stature and how they look mamish. They're mamish like twins. Still, one goes to Hashem, where? To Kodesh HaKodeshim. The blood is being spritzed inside the Kodesh HaKodeshim, between the sticks of the Oren. One goes all the way down, to the mountain, goes all the way to the tomb of the Sitra Racham. This is Reb Nosson never uses such lashonos, such language. This is a completely, top secret and profound mystery. It's the profoundest of the profoundest of mysteries. A very, very concealed saying. That the Kohen Gadol should, would draw goyrel. In other words, it's a chance. It's not his choice. He's rolling the dice. Why? Only that decision, that determination that comes out from HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself, it's beyond human comprehension. It's not, maybe a Kohen is going to look at them, one of them looks cuter than the other, so I'll take the cute one to Hashem. Nothing. It's just a totally up to Hashem. It's Goyra. Yevar Ezel Hashem ve'ezel Azazel. Will decide which one goes to Hashem and which one goes to Azazel. And that is the thing that brings the Ikar Tikkun of V'slichas Ha'avonos Shel Yom Kippur. That is the thing that brings about the atonement of the Averos on Yom Kippur. That's the 10th day of the days of Tshuva. A 10th day, then you're going to B'chinas Aye. Then you are elevating yourself. You're ascending all the way to the Keser. V'aliyah, and how do you get there? How do you get to the highest places of them all? Dafka, by mentioning all the bad things, all the sins of Am Yisrael. That's the multitude. I mean, you're Mitzvah Yom Kippur like non-stop. Every single tefillah. Hashem Bagad Chatan, and this every tefillah. And Valchet and Anchet we did this, and Anchet we did this, and Anchet, again, and more and more and more and more to clean. It's like, because now you're going to Aye. Aye is the source, that cleans everything, that heals everything. The highest, everything comes from the Keser. So all the avodas have to be brought in. Everything has to be brought in. This is the vidui. That's the confession on the billy goat that is being sent to the Trazozo. That's the main confession of the Kohen Gadol, which is the ambassador, which is the representative of all Am Yisrael, that he does it for the entire Am Yisrael. Because the vidui, when you mention the avodas, the vidui itself constitutes the dirty places, the filthy places. You mention them. This is B'chinas Ikar B'Yerida Tachlis Aliyah Al Dei Bakoshas Ayin. This is the actual manifestation and expression of the principle of you going down in order to go up by asking for Ayin. Where are you? It's very important. One of the more abstract comprehensions that we have in Yiddishkeit, especially when we learn, Chassidus, is, but the regular world, a question is a quest. Who is this person? It's a quest to find who this person is. Why? It's a quest to find, what are you talking about? What's involved here? But when you're talking about the totality of the human intellect, not from your own eyes. What? No, really, what? When you're looking at the entire human intellect, the questions are also definitions. They are definitions of something that you don't know. They are definitions of something that you're looking for. That's why when you're talking about Sfiras HaMalchus, all of them, they have their own names. So the Malchus is called Zois, which means this. This. You know what it is? It's this. That's the Malchus, that's the lowest rung. The Chochmah, which is the mother of the Malchus, it used to be a daughter, it used to be a Malchus in previous, it used to be a Zois. It's called a Mi. Mi means who. If you tell somebody who, this is a who, and there's a whole whatchamacallit, Abbott and Costello, about who's on first, who's on second. And the whole thing that he's telling you, no, who is the name of the guy? So he says, that's what I'm asking you. Who was on first? No. He says, who's on first? No, what's his name? No, what's his name is on second. There's a whole, it also shows you how humor changes. I mean, okay, you get it in 3 seconds flat, you got the whole thing, but they keep on going and going. In the 30s, you still laugh at it. Okay? But the point is that what's based on here is me, who, is not just a question, it's also a definition. A definition that what? That you know that there is an entity, but it is undefined. Who is it? It's not a makif, it's a moichin of the bina. It's a certain part of the intellect. Beyond the bina comes the chokhmah. The name of the chokhmah is ma. Chokhmah. Ma, what? It's even beyond me. Who? At least you know it's a somebody. You just don't know who it is. What is? You don't even know what it is. It's a person. It's an animal. It's a what? It's a level. It's a level in which you realize that there is something there, but you don't know what it is. It waits. It has to go through all the spheres, for you to finally find, this, that. Only when it goes down. But it only represents half a notion and half a mystery. What means I know that there is something, otherwise you wouldn't ask. But you don't know what it is. Okay? That's a certain level of human intellect. And it goes down. You already know that it's not just a something, it's a somebody. But you don't know who it is. That's the bina, that's a lower bechina. That's a me, that's a who. And only later on, as it goes lower and lower, it becomes more defined and more defined and more defined until you get to the malchus, which is Zeus. The sphere of the Keser is even beyond what? The Keser is Aye. Aye means where. We don't know anything about what's taking place wherever this where is. I mean, is there something taking place there? Is there something there? Is there anybody there? We don't know anything. Where? Because place is the very beginning of existence. As we said many times, when we talk amongst ourselves and we say, we'll learn nowhere, which means we're not learning. So first of all, it has to be aware. This is ayin. When you're asking for ayah, it means that you're asking where. You realize that there is some place, but you don't know where it is. Let alone that you don't know what it is, and you don't know who it is. But all those represent a certain notion of knowledge. Where means that you know that there is a place. You just don't know where it is. Ma means that you know that there is something, you just don't know what it is. Me means that you know there is somebody, but you just don't know who it is. You speak about this to secular people, they don't know what the heck you're talking about. Where? What? Who? It's a question. I don't know. If I don't know all these things, I just don't know anything. That's not true. In fact, all advances in anything, in science, in getting a job, in doing anything, have to begin with asking a question. I want a job. There's a job for you. What's the first step in finding out getting a job? Where? That you got to speak to the boss. What the kind of job that it's a kind of job that it fits you. What kind of job is it? Okay, then I got to speak to somebody, to get the job. Who? So all these things are already steps, that definite steps in finding. Okay, so that's your job. You got it. Here you are. So this whole Inyan is that you have to get to the highest bechina, to Aye, which is the height of not knowing while still knowing that there is. It says, I mekom kevoidoi. I know that Hashem is here, but it's totally beyond me. I don't get it. It's. This is Kikol. I think that we better stop over here and continue tomorrow.